Okay, here we are. Ants in a Jar was a behavioral study. Um, that basically, if you can imagine, it was a fairly large glass jar, and it was filled with sand, and there was a specimen or a few of the ants who lived in this colony way over here and didn't know nothing about this ant colony way over on the other side of town. And they took a little bit of these ants from each one of those colonies and they put them inside this jar filled with sand. So normally, anybody that's ever tried to control ants in their garden, especially down south, they'll be able to tell you the easy, quick way is go get a shovel of ants from this pothole or this ant hole and put it on that ant hole, and then they'll just take care of it themselves because they'll fight each other to the death. But these ants in the jar didn't do that. They basically set up all their little, community colony ant, hives or whatever within the sand and the dirt and whatever, and they was living side by side with a barrier in between, like a healthy boundary in between the two, and they lived in peace until somebody came and shook the jar from the outside, and now the ants go into attack mode, and then they start to attack each other within the jar. So that's what I mean when I'm referring to revolution as opposed to evolution, and changing the perspective from the one that we've been given to the one that we can imagine if we change our perspective. That the possibilities are limitless and that there is no such thing as scarcity and code words, I guess. I don't know. I'm so tired of speaking in code. I'm going to just say it right out. I don't care who likes it. And YouTube can erase it if you want to. But it's a fact that many things, not including but not limited to, hemp and mycelium can run the entire global economy 1,000 times over and do it in a way that is non-toxic and non-invasive and non-polluting. And so that could be, let's say, hypothetically, a solution to getting out of the jar that someone else is keeping us in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Sovereign, national, tangible currencies with renewable, regenerative, circular economies. Economies that are manufacturing based, not service based. There should be predominantly manufacturing based. I mean, of course, service based. Everybody needs what, if you have a community, everybody's going to have a service. But that it should be primarily manufacturing and not, vulnerable like the tourist industry, let's say, for example. Yeah, solutions. There's no such thing as a problem. There's only a solution that's waiting to happen. Now, how do we change our perspective? Well, I don't know. Just make room for possibility. Remember when you were 5 and you could remember like everything was magical and mystical and everything was possible. Everything, and then it just gets kind of programmed out of us and then indoctrinated out of us, and then we arrive at this ants in a jar moment. So know who you are. All right, I did a meditation on SoundCloud back in 2017, 2018, I don't know, called Remember Who You Are. I think I shared it in a previous video here on YouTube as well. I shared the link. And know what time it is. Time, of course, is a concept that we have implemented for the purpose of organizing things into bite-sized pieces. But when I say know what time it is, I'm referring to knowing where we are at in the circle of life, knowing where we are at, as the ancestors said, the 500-year prophecy means to say, like, let's say you could take this time of, say, 2,000 years and call it an era, and draw it in a circle, and then draw a cross through the middle of it. Of course, see those. That's her comments about time. She thinks it's all bullshit, but anyway. So just draw that in a circle. Put a cross in the middle to divide up that circle into quarters, and that would give you 500, 500, 500, right? So Quetzalcoatl, the man that they called Quetzalcoatl, arrived here in Mesoamericas in roughly the 10th century. So that would have been the year 1000. So that would have been like 2 cycles or 2 500-year parts into this current era, to tell the people, hey, we're coming up on another section of the circle. Now's the time to choose which way you will go, right? Will you continue down this devolutionary process? How much further do you need to explore the depths of your depravity in order for infinite consciousness to know who it is? Or do you want to listen to this so-called prophet, this white man in a black robe, who was saying, hey, look, there's another way. So as this 11th century and 12th century accounts go, this white man in a black robe, he said his piece. He said what he had to say, and then it's up to the people whether they want to listen or not, and he took off. And then, of course, we all know what they chose, because its shit just went from a hell. It's like from what they say, from a handbasket to hell or something like that. Just went to hell in a handbasket. That's the word. And about 400 years later, the conquistadors arrived on the shore to usher in another 500 years of, well, I don't need to tell you, do I? To see what we have arrived at today. But that's all well and good, because that was the 4 pieces of the pie that make up this exploration of how deep we can sink into the depths of our depravity, and how much of a mess, let's say, we can make of things. And now we have completed that cycle. We have completed that era. So now we are at another precipice, another choice point, that, do we want to revolve around that dysfunctional consciousness loop, or do we want to evolve into another consciousness loop and begin to explore that, which is our choice. But having said that, what's written in the stars, what caused the ancestors to even mention the 500-year prophecy to us, is that we let's just say I'm going to try to put it in layman's terms to say what our Mother Earth wants us to do, what the Great Spirit wants us to do. When I say us, I'm referring to the infantile species called the human race. What is favored, or what is the, let's say the trajectory, or the possible trajectory, is to be in favor of evolution as opposed to devolution. Now, not everybody's going to choose that, and that's fine. Then they will go and spend their next 1,000 years in the underworld, without free will choice, and the rest of us will carry on to build a different reality that we wish to provide for ourselves, our family, our tribes, our community, and for the 7 future generations. All right, the last things I just want to say is I'm getting near 10 minutes on this video. The last few things on my in my notebook here. Says my documents, memoirs, recordings, photos, like everything has been backed up and shared and stored in multiple different places across the world, really. And so should anything happen to me, like, I'm just saying right here, number 8, I've finished up here, all rights reserved. This is my journey of Invictus. This is my intellectual property. This is my copyright. This is my life. This is my story to tell. This is my experience to share for the purpose of inspiring others to be fearless and to prevail, and to know that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Evil is L-I-V-E backwards. And fear, well, that's a mental disease, I suppose. I mean, there's like, if you're about to get pounced on by a mountain lion, then but like in just your day-to-day life, to operate with a standard operating system of fear is not, well, it's a mental disease. But for the purpose of saying the word fear, I shall not fear evil. The evil, right, is what it says in the Bible. But you could say, I shall not have any mental disease that prevents me from living, because remember, evil spelled backwards is L-I-V-E. So if I'm alive, I will not have fear. I will not let fear be my go-to operating system, my program, my app that launches everything. But rather to persevere and remember what time it is, that, really, and, we should probably, I don't want to say we should do anything. You do whatever the hell you want. It's your free will choice. And I won't ever pretend to even try to influence someone else's free will choice, right? I'm just providing some different perspectives, and then you can use your free will choice to do whatever, in the divine, sacred order of things. But as for me, I can speak for me and my observations, that I personally, long ago, felt sufficiently satisfied with the illustrations that I saw before me with regards to the depths and depravity, with regards to the devolutionary experience of the consciousness, and that, like, if I had to choose now, well, I still have free will choice. Well, we still have free will choice. Use it. To use that free will choice to create something different, to stop being the ant in the jar, to stop believing everything that we're programmed to believe, when we're indoctrinated in the schools and things like that, and just to go back and check in, and touch base with your inner child's heart, the innocent, pure heart of your inner child, that's not out to, like, give me, millions of dollars and a big fancy house and this and that and the other, but just, just knowing, hey, here I am and here I exist in the world, and how I interface with the world, is I'm a part of it, and I can create, and I can go back to the idea that all things are possible, and if I just make room for that, and make room for those possibilities. So stand by or stay tuned for more, whether it comes directly from me or others. Please do know that there are these, what I've been calling industries of the future for, I don't know, going on 7 years, I guess I've been saying that. but that are no longer interested in the future, of course, because I've been talking about them for 7 years, and all the dreams of Mother Earth's children always comes true. So, being one of her children, it's been a dream of mine, and so, and I know I'm not the only child that shares that dream. So I see all kinds of possibilities opening up and already existing, right? Companies and industries that will provide everything that we need and want, but to just do so in a way that is not, harmful to the environment and disrespectful to the sacred water and invasive to our Mother Earth, and that is in alignment with and respect for the 7 future generations. Yeah, that's, I wanted to leave with on that positive note there. This update, and I would ask too, that while everybody waits for the juicy details to come out, the name of the book is going to be A Journey of Invictus, and it's going to be a trilogy, and it'll probably, maybe, I'm guessing, be written, well, I'm reckoning within the next 4 years. And if I can find a ghostwriter, it'll be even sooner. But it's an amazing story, full of everything, just sci-fi, horror movie, like everything, every genre of the movie that you go and see, it's all put into one, and it takes it to the extremes. Like, it's, let me just say this much. Let me just put it like this. I know thousands and thousands of people all over the world, and a very small handful of them are what I would consider strong, like, really rock solid. They know who they are and they're unshakable, right? Very few. And of those very few, I'd have to say at least 90%, if not all of them, would have been in a straitjacket or died of a heart attack or something years ago. So I have been through hell and back, and I'm here to tell the story, so that while you're going through your own personal journey and running into all kinds of Agent Smith activity, and oh, what if one of your videos gets erased on YouTube? Please, no, I'm not even gonna go there. Look, my videos were erased on YouTube when I had less than 6 months on my channel. I think I had 35 subscribers in less than 6 months. And YouTube started erasing my videos, and I didn't get any warning. They just took them down. It's because there's a difference between those who are allowed to make posts because they don't present any threat, because they're just talking about the problems. They're entertaining their own ego with one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, Captain Obvious moment that we can all take a look around and see. But, the ones that observe and then say, what's the solution? Well, here I am. How many years my channel now? I don't know, going on 7 maybe? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, don't even think it's my channel anymore, because something took it over. I don't know, a couple years ago, I guess, I don't remember. Something took over my channel, and now it's owned by Teresa8236 or something like that. So, yeah, I'll just put this out there. If YouTube erases it, doesn't matter. I'll put it in the field. I'll put it in the unified field of consciousness, and you can download it telepathically, because I done said it. Sure did. So that's it, family. I wanted to give you an update, and and let you know I'm still alive and kicking, but not quite out of danger just yet. And Um, I have been robbed of my life savings, my home, all my personal property, my intellectual property, and the contents of my bank account. So I'll be maneuvering my way around cartel actors and narcos and assassins and mercenaries and all the other NPCs and Agent Smith characters of the Matrix here in Mexico. And to them, I say thanks for playing. Cocktails are in the back. You can't kill infinite consciousness. And anyway, there's always when one door closes, another always opens. And for every death, there's always a rebirth. So I just wanted to share with you one more time. See if I can get him. Can you see him? My B friend. He's in the B series I just finished today. So until then, family, I'll see you in the dream world. Please do not expect me to respond to each and every individual Facebook message, Telegram message, Signal message, this app, this app, the other app, email, YouTube, text message. I cannot live like that. I can't do that. I just can't. And I don't really understand how anybody could. So I'll leave that there, and just know that I will plan now to use YouTube as the primary method for providing updates. Okay? So until then, family, I'll see you in the dream world. Ciao for now.